Thanks for clicking on this video. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon and turn on all notifications to keep up to date with the latest information and discussions. Yeah, sure, the tension may be high right now, but soon the battle power will be slightly higher as well. Hey guys, MasakoX here. So that chorus of "Masako, what took you so long?" Yeah, that's still going on right now, especially with this one, I must admit. Juggling all these narratives is pretty tricky when you're only doing one video a week, but I think it's now the best time to come back to this what if, which I must admit is one of the most challenging what ifs that I've done. Whilst at the same time though, I think it's actually pretty natural for the Dragon world. I think you can possibly argue for the fact that it's not really that big of a deal. And thanks to the initial support of my R&R crew, I can now present to you the 5th part of the biggest scenario that I can think of: what if Goku was female? At first, this scenario was a really tricky one, and I was pretty daunted with the challenging task of coming up with a compelling story with this scenario in mind. It was really hard to try and think of something that would really compel the need for a what if. Would things really change in a meaningful way, or would I really stumble for things that were really obvious? Making Goku a woman has actually been pretty fun to write. Her innocent and pure nature combined with the power of a Saiyan is pretty much the same as it was when Goku was a dude. Plus with the added bonus of greater social skills, having been around Bulma a lot more, got to see more of the city more, and just understand humanity more. It made our Goku much more adept at social mobility and loyalty, and especially tact. We've got a being who is still the same Goku in nature as we are accustomed to, but is also closer to Bulma and also closer to the Z Fighters. Or, as I like to call them in this timeline, the Breakfast Club of Combat. Because if you think about it, in Dragon Ball as a whole, they only come together when something bad is going down on Earth. They don't really socialize, or we don't really see any of that. Here though, I think it's different. I think that these guys hang out all the time, or at least close to all the time. Oh yeah, and as for Piccolo, he is still around, but unfortunately he's become much more of a recluse, and has really become unaware as to what's been going down, especially in the last part. Now let's get back to that last part. Everyone bar Goku and Krillin head off to Namek as the first team. They went off to Namek on their own because there really wasn't that much urgency. They only needed to go and revive Chiaotsu. There wasn't any Vegeta hanging around in the waiting. They thought it was going to be a pretty much easy job. But little did they know that they were about to meet a very formidable foe. And thusly they were charged by the young Dende, the now rescued Dende, to go to Elder Guru and to therefore get the last Dragon Ball, so that means Frieza cannot get it. Meanwhile on the other ship, Krillin had finally confessed to Goku and immediately regretted it. However, don't think that this was because Goku rejected his offer. It's because Goku didn't really get a chance to say anything really. Before she could actually even respond or even comprehend what was going on, Krillin immediately just cowered away and kind of did himself a disservice. So back on Namek, Chi-Chi and Dende are off to Lord Guru's tower, and they're off to talk to him and now about the situation. They find an elderly and gravely ill Namekian who is keen to help them in their quest because Frieza has basically destroyed the Namekians, or what's left of them, and anything to try and help them in some kind of way or to get the best of the tyrant will be very much welcome with him. And besides, he does see a very good spiritual essence inside of Chi-Chi. He knows that she is nothing like Frieza. After very little convincing, Elder Guru gives her the Dragon Ball, but before she can actually go back and report to Bulma, Guru gives her another parting gift. And I think you know what I'm going for here. Once unlocked, Chi-Chi found her power increase significantly. And as I discussed in the last part, the majority of the club's power was between 4,000 and 4,500, based on the little bit of training they were able to do in the meantime. And with this potential unlocked, based on all the calculations that have been derived from actual examples in the Dragon Ball manga, I would estimate that Chi-Chi's power would increase from about 4,100 to something above 21,000, just slightly. Put simply, this is like Kaioken times 5 in her normal body. She is keen to test out what Kaioken times 5 now feels like, you know, with this extra boost, but Dende stops in her tracks, and for good reason as well. If she were to test out the power right now, everyone around the planet would know what she's up to. All of the Frieza Force would then gather here, and there would be no hope to try and save Namek. She quietly collects the ball, and the two of them head back to Bulma in the cave. Back at said cave, Bulma is then perusing through all of the data that they have, and they have managed to come to the conclusion that there is still one ball that Frieza has not found yet. After evaluating the locations, Bulma plots out a trajectory and a course which would be the most efficient, which means that they can go and get the ball, try and see what they can do in terms of intelligence and trying to understand what they can do with the other balls and then come back. Yamcha is worried and asks whether Bulma will be okay all on her own in this cave just in case someone might show up. But Bulma's not that particularly worried because they don't know that she exists. Well, that is sort of true because remember, the club are sort of known because Dodoria did report back to Frieza, so they are on the lookout for people that might be interfering, but the specifics, yeah, they still don't know about those. As the second ship with Goku and Krillin on it then continues its quest to get to Namek, the training has been continued as usual, but the conversation has been kept to an absolute minimum thanks to Krillin. Krillin always knew that martial arts was the key to his self-improvement. To him, it was important that they should continue what they were doing, act like nothing happened, and hopefully Goku will forget about it, and then everything will be right as rain again, and they continue on with their lives, and everything will be hunky-dory, and oh my god, my mind's going in circles. However, Goku is a lot more perceptive than Krillin gives her credit for. After another bout of training with no conversation in it really, Goku sits down with Krillin and asks him immediately, "What is up?" Goku places a hand on Krillin's shoulder and states quite clearly, and looking straight at him, that he can be honest with her. They are really good friends. They can be that close. But in a way, Krillin is now starting to get quite resentful because even though he did profess his love to Goku, Goku is now not really acknowledging the thing even happened at all. And now he's actually starting to get smarting. It's like, oh yeah? Well, if I can be honest with you, Goku, well, gosh darn it, I'm gonna be honest with you! I mean, he's not like shouting right now, he's internalizing it because, you know, Krillin doesn't want to rock the boat, you know, directly. Krillin reiterates that he likes Goku, but at the same time, he is now feeling a little hurt that what he actually said was really important and that Goku's not really acknowledged the importance of it is really not that nice. But Krillin isn't running away this time. Goku asks Krillin, now she's got the chance, what does he mean by that? Aren't friends supposed to like each other or something like that? But then Krillin clarifies, saying, no, Goku, I like you. You know, isn't a crush? Goku still doesn't get it, and Krillin is really feeling uncomfortable with the fact that he now has to go into detail about why exactly he likes Goku, and having to go into the details about what a crush is, what it means to like someone in a different way. This is something he did not expect to do. He thought he could just say, I like you, Goku, and I hope that you like me too. No, he has to be a lot more detailed. But Krillin's then thinking, well, wait a minute, Goku should know about all this kind of stuff. She hangs around with Bulma all of the time, and Bulma's always talking about guys. But then it clicks. Oh! Goku says, yeah, like the boys that Bulma talks about. Yeah, okay. Goku understands now. And it then starts to get pieced together, but then Goku suddenly goes like, huh, I hadn't really thought about it that way. I guess I never really looked for that kind of thing before because, you know, training, my friends, it's just a lot of fun. She then gets quite reflective, laying down on her back and just looking up at the ceiling, kind of just staring into space. I mean, not literally into space, they're inside the pod still. She's really kind of just whirring this through her mind like, yeah, I've never really thought about love and relationships and stuff like that. I guess this is a revelation to her. But at the same time, she apologizes to Krillin for any hurt that this may have caused. With that out in the open, Krillin decides that maybe this might be worth a second go to try and ask Goku out in some way. So therefore he does so. When they get back to Earth, would it be okay that they go out on some kind of outing, just the two of them, just casually? Goku then just shrugs his shoulders and goes, okay. And then Krillin's just like, wait, what? Goku then cutely smiles and just says, well, sure. Dates are those kind of things where you go out and get some really good food, right? And I get to hang out with one of my best friends? That sounds great. That'd make me happy. Right now, in this moment, the fact that they're friends again and they're talking, and that it's actually kind of nice. Yeah, he'll take this. Back on Namek, Chi-Chi is absolutely stoked to have this amazing, incredible power in such a short space of time. But this begs a question, and this time, instead of me coming up with it, I want you to come up with this because I think this could prove to be rather interesting and full of drama. This potential being unlocked by Lord Guru, does she tell the others about it? And what I mean about the others, I'm talking about the rest of the club members. I think it's got to do with the subplot that Chi-Chi is desperate to prove herself to Goku and show that she is a strong person as well. And now she is, possibly even stronger than Goku. But on the other hand, They are her friends after all. They've been through things through thick and thin. That loyalty is absolutely strong. Would she want to jeopardize this right now just for the sake of some kind of selfish desire? And I want you to have your say. Best of luck. Speaking of the others, Tenshinhan and Yamcha are in progress getting the other Dragon Ball from that village. Having been seen and analysed to have no evil intent, the village elder then acquiesces and gives them the Dragon Ball. But at the same time, I feel like that they wouldn't just leave the village to their own devices only to be accosted by Frieza. Tenshinhan then tells them absolutely bluntly that it's best for everyone in the village to get out of here. Frieza and his men may come looking for this Dragon Ball, and if they find out that it's not here, something bad may happen to everyone in the village. They might not be shown any mercy. With that done, the duo then head out to try their luck with gathering the 5 remaining balls. Will they be able to do it? However, at the same time, with this ball being absolutely huge, would they be able to carry them all quite efficiently? Yamcha states that they should probably hide this ball somewhere where they'll be able to know where it is. They take a detour, hide the ball, and then head out to Frieza's vessel. For now, Chi-Chi decides not to share the info about her potential being unlocked to Bulma because, in her mind, she's justifying it by saying, well, Bulma wouldn't really find it that relevant of an information anyway. Now that she's kind of got nothing to do, she asks where Tenshinhan and Yamcha have gone. Bulma confirms that the two of them are off looking for Dragon Balls, with a clutch of them being quite a far ways away. Chi-Chi suspects that this Frieza person may be there, so it's best that they have an extra pair of hands on board to deal with it. And with her new power, she might be able to take them out on her own! Yay! As for said Emperor, Frieza is overseeing the collection of the other Dragon Ball as they are heading down on that last village. Zarbon, Dodoria, and a clutch of Frieza Force soldiers are there as well, which will make things easier for Tenshinhan and Yamcha, but for now, let's focus on the village. They arrive to see an empty township with no signs of life. Frieza orders Zarbon, Dodoria, and the others to then search the village entirely, find anyone who dare hides before the presence of Lord Frieza, and take them out. With the band of soldiers, the minions go looking, and 10 minutes later, they come up with nothing, not even the Dragon Ball. Frieza is angry. Who could have done this? How could have these villagers known about their presence? They have no technology! How have they been able to figure out that they were even here? This is on the other side of the planet! Frieza is seething, but then regains his composure, figuring out that these villager fools could not have gone far. He orders Zarbon, Dodoria, and the others to go and search the nearby mountains. Whoever got in his way and failed to decide to stand up for themselves in front of Lord Frieza will regret their actions. As that's been going on, Tenshinhan and Yamcha then arrive at where they found all the clutch of Dragon Balls. Sure enough, it's actually a huge ship where it's on. It's Frieza's ship. As the two begin focusing, Yamcha then focuses on Chi-Chi's energy. It's approaching fast. Oh hey, cool, they got extra backup, but something's odd. This power seems a little bit different somehow. It's like it's sparking in some way. It's more refined, somehow fuller. I just can't really understand, but no time for explaining right now because Chi-Chi is now right here. She then reports to them that they actually found a Dragon Ball, so they now have one in their possession, and they might soon have much more. But then Tenshinhan tells them to calm down. Think about it. Think about the energies. Can you sense anything? Exactly. Frieza isn't here, nor can he sense anyone here whose power is greater than theirs alone. This is perfect. They can just slip in, nab the balls without any kind of interference or disruption or any really kind of a challenge. And so begins a rather interesting venture in gathering the Dragon Balls upon Frieza's ship. With those three getting ready to take on Frieza's ship and the minions that are left on board, we go back to Dende, who is facing a rather big existential crisis. He is left feeling rather conflicted about Chi-Chi's lack of transparency towards Bulma, one of her friends. Why didn't she say anything about the potential being unlocked? This could be really useful. Because this potential could not just unlock power, it could unlock intelligence in Bulma as well. This isn't what he expected Chi-Chi to do, and this just leaves him feeling really sad. Maybe it might be best to talk to Elder Guru again, try and get some understanding and clarity about what's going on. Maybe it might be time for his potential to be unlocked as well. It's probably best that he does so because Guru doesn't have that much time, and who knows whether Frieza might get there before he does if he doesn't do anything about it now. With Bulma busy doing other stuff, Dende slips out and heads back to Guru's tower completely unnoticed and just silently hoping that he does not get spotted by Frieza and his men. And that's where we're going to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think? Is this something that you're enjoying? Do you think Goku and Krillin's relationship will actually go to the next level? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later!